Stop for a moment and think about the last time you felt completely lost about who you really are beneath all the surface noise and daily routines. Developing a relationship with your unconscious is not just a psychological task, it's a profoundly transformative journey that Carl Jung devoted his life to understanding. In my research of Jung's work, I've found that he viewed the unconscious not as a dark void or something to fear, but as a hidden treasure trove of personal wisdom and vitality waiting patiently for us to engage with it. So if you are ready to deepen your understanding of yourself, listen closely because the insights I'm about to share will open a door to a dimension of your psyche many never even know exists. When Jung first started working clinically, he noticed something that we still wrestle with today. The conscious ego often struggles with feelings of emptiness, anxiety, and confusion because it remains cut off from the deeper parts of ourselves. He documented countless cases where his patients experienced what we might call a crisis of meaning or identity. And through his method, the unconscious revealed rich symbolic material that helped guide their healing process. This disconnect is not accidental. It is a critical wound of modern life, one that Jung insisted we address if we are to find wholeness and vitality. The urgency is clear because without dialogue with the unconscious, we risk living fragmented lives, simply reacting to surface appearances without discovering our true purpose and potential. Now let's delve into Jung's insights with the care and sincerity they deserve. One of his key discoveries was the concept of individuation, the psychological process by which we become more fully who we are by integrating unconscious content into our conscious awareness. Jung likened the unconscious to a vast subterranean river shaping the visible landscape of the conscious mind. When patients shared dreams, symbols, or spontaneous images with him, he learned to interpret these as messages from that river, which, if heeded, could reveal blocked emotions, repressed desires, or neglected talents. Take, for instance, the famous case of the patient he called the Red Book individual, who was tormented by recurring nightmares of a shadowy figure. Jung discovered that this shadow represented repressed aspects of his own psyche that, once acknowledged, led to remarkable self-understanding and creative breakthroughs. This finding challenged prevailing psychological theories of his time, which largely ignored the value of symbolic and mythic material. Jung demonstrated that the unconscious speaks in images, not words, and developing a relationship with it requires learning its language. Through decades of clinical work, Jung developed techniques to foster this connection. One such practice was active imagination, inviting patients to consciously engage with their inner images by dialogue, drawing, or writing. This method creates a safe bridge between the conscious ego and unconscious contents, allowing for gradual integration rather than overwhelming confrontation. Imagine sitting quietly, inviting an image to arise, and then asking it questions or simply observing it with gentle curiosity. This transforms the unconscious from a mysterious stranger into a trusted partner in your journey. Personally, I've witnessed how people who regularly practice active imagination find themselves less anxious, more creative, and increasingly aligned with their authentic self. But Jung was clear that building this relationship is a slow and delicate process. It demands patience, self-compassion, and openness to uncertainty. He cautioned against forcing insights or rushing this delicate internal dance. Instead, he encouraged a stance of reverence toward the unconscious, recognizing its complexity and wisdom. In practical terms, you can start today by paying close attention to your dreams, maintaining a journal to note recurring themes or potent symbols. Over time, these quiet whispers of the unconscious will become clearer. Also, try carving out daily moments for contemplation or creative expression, whether through art, music, or free writing. As Jung believed, creativity itself is a bridge to the unconscious, allowing hidden contents to surface in transformative ways. Remember, you are not alone in this endeavor. Jung's legacy shows millions have walked this path and emerged with a deeper allegiance to themselves and richer relationships with others. His model offers a vital antidote to the fast-paced, fragmenting tendencies of modern life. Bringing unconscious wisdom into awareness reconnects us with meaning and vitality that fuels genuine well-being. To sum up, Jung wanted humanity to recognize that the unconscious is not an enemy to be feared, but a guide to be approached mindfully and courageously. When you develop this relationship, you embark on the individuation journey towards psychological wholeness, where the many disparate parts of your psyche come to dialogue and harmonize. The promise is profound: more authenticity, greater emotional resilience, and a life lived with deeper purpose. So, if you are curious about what it truly means to heal and grow, I encourage you to begin this deep conversation with your unconscious. Take one small step tonight by noting your dreams, or perhaps engaging in a few minutes of active imagination. Make it a ritual, trust the process, because the rewards are life-changing. And stay tuned tomorrow, because we will explore one of the most fascinating aspects of Jungian psychology. What role does creativity play in psychological healing? This question directly follows today's focus, because creativity is often the language through which the unconscious reveals itself and facilitates healing. I guarantee that understanding Jung's insights on creativity will deepen your journey in ways you cannot yet imagine. Please like if this perspective resonated, comment your experiences or questions, and subscribe to join this unfolding conversation. We are building a community of seekers dedicated to the Jungian path of self-discovery and healing. I look forward to walking with you on this compelling journey, starting now.